I'm going to be honest. I ain't got a clue who they're going to start at quarterback. There, how you doing? Bobby Dirkens here. Thank you so much for joining me on my preview of, what are they ranked? Number 7, Auburn. At number 4, Georgia Bulldogs this weekend. If you're brand new here, as you can see with the flag in the background, you can imagine who I pull for, but still make yourself at home. I have a bunch of you show up here. Hit the subscribe button, I think it's on this side, and turn on the notifications. It don't always work, but still hit it. So, this past weekend was an interesting time. Now, even though I'm a big old Clemson boy, and I love them, and I'm going to talk trash about them, I love talking trash about Georgia because it's fun. The truth is that I have a large Georgia following. I have a ton of people who follow me in the Georgia scene. Now, where I live now, I'm nowhere close to Georgia, but where I grew up, I was 10 minutes from a Georgia line. I knew a lot of people who was Georgia fans, so I know the Georgia fan base. I am no stranger. If there's one fan base I know, not as well, but close to as Clemson, is not South Carolina, it's Georgia. So if you're a Georgia fan here and you come on here and you get butt in the water because of stuff I say, you know what I'm saying? Welcome. That's just how I do things. But I do know Georgia's football team pretty solid. Pretty solid. I'm not an expert, but a pretty solid. I'm gonna be honest here with you. Starting off with Georgia, I didn't know what to think for quite a while with your team this past Saturday. You can go ahead and say, well, COVID-19. Didn't you lose last year to South Carolina with third-string quarterback who only knew 6 plays and 5 of them was running plays? Well, that was last year. Don't give me that crap. It's just like FedEx. FedEx has been screwing up delivering packages for years, and now they're blaming it on COVID-19. Don't give me that crap. Tennessee did that same stuff to me over the weekend. Garantano looked the same as he has the past 2 or 3 years. This year he just has an excuse, and they call it COVID-19. Looked the same to me. The thing about Georgia is you have been recruiting well for a very long time. There's one thing that you can say about Georgia, and Georgia fans, you've been dogged for it. We've dogged the crap out of you. You know why? Because if you made a Georgia fan and you're a non-Georgia fan, you see how we recruited this week? Y'all are going down. And then you piss it away. Just as you've been doing for a very, very long time. I didn't say you didn't recruit well. Just think about this. You had Justin Fields as a quarterback and somehow chose somebody else over him. Different year. It's interesting. It was the quarterback that a lot of you were butthurt over and didn't want to even talk about was the very one who came into the game, and guess what? Won it for you. Stetson Bennett transferred out from y'all. And hey, I get it. When you have somebody transfer out from a program, what they're saying is, I don't believe in what's going on here. I get it. I'm not an idiot. I know comments are coming after that. But he transferred back in, and I don't know what, for what reason. If he thought the girls were prettier there than where it was at, or if he liked what he looked like in the jersey. But he came in, and this past Saturday, he was the very reason that you boys who hated his guts stopped looking playing inferior to an Arkansas team that is led by a first-year coach, by a first-year starter who's a transfer who didn't do so well at Florida. So this is what I always say to South Carolina fans about Muschamp. If he didn't do good at Florida with all that talent, why do you think he's going to do good at South Carolina? That's not logical. I don't care if you're stoned out of your mind. You can still figure out, yeah, that's right. But the truth is, they were giving y'all a game. And Stetson Bennett had to come in and win the game for you. Now, I've heard that JT has been cleared. Now, I've been interested to see, now this is coming from a Clemson fan. JT Daniels is not a bad quarterback, but I have noticed that a lot of y'all are not taking a liking to him. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. And if some of you go, you should do your research. I'm sorry, I'm not that interested in your team to just sit around and, waste time that I could be counting the hairs on my toes to figure out why y'all don't like JT Daniels. But, I mean, let's be honest with yourself. Aside from Justin Fields, he's not too bad. But I will say Stetson Bennett did come in and win it for you. So y'all might want to reconsider the way y'all evaluate your quarterbacks and who you like and who you don't like. Let's talk about this. Y'all got to play Bo Nix. Bo Nix is coming in. I'm talking to Georgia like they're the only ones watching the video. But Auburn fans, Bo Nix, we know that Bo Nix is the most Auburn person that's ever walked through the doors of Auburn. When he was born, his daddy was Auburn alumni. We know when Cam Newton won the national championship at Auburn, there was little Bo right there. When Bo kissed his first girl, instead of him going, wow, he went Auburn. We know that the first time, his first word was Auburn. We know that when he got saved, he didn't proclaim Jesus as Lord and Savior. He claimed Auburn as his way to eternal bliss. We know he's the most Auburn person ever. So for any of you major media outlets that could be watching this, and I doubt you are, but if you should stumble across this, like some type of dip in the sand in the middle of the night, we know Bo Nix is pro-Auburn. Please stop beating that into our heads. Though I would rather hear about that than how COVID-19 has affected everything. We all know that. Remember, we're living through it with y'all. So stop beating that into our heads, you bunch of idiots. Bo Nix is a talented player. I think he got too much weight on his shoulders last year as a true freshman. But the youngin still did what he did. This past week they went and they beat Kentucky. Kentucky's not a bad football team. They're not your regular Kentucky. But he went out and won the game. The interesting thing to me is I'm looking over who's the leading rusher for Auburn's team. It's Bo Nix. That bothers me at 5 carries at 34 yards. You say, well, Bobby, wouldn't you say that's a good thing? In Auburn's case, I would say that's a bad thing. I mean, where's your dang running back? Because when you look at who's the leading running back for Georgia, you see Zamir White. Ever heard of him? Only one of the most hot running backs coming out of high school that's just killing it. Everybody wanted to see Zamir White. Zeus, Zeus. On the receiving side, I could talk about this, that, and the other. Here's the deal for me. When you get Auburn and Georgia together, you have a bunch of history. We all see that. Whether you're a Georgia, Auburn fan, or whether you're just a college football fan, the truth is, you see that picture of the Bulldog biting the jersey of the Auburn player. We see all these great games that's happened between y'all. This is coming from a Clemson fan. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a big rivalry. This is a huge rivalry. This is a game that is, it means a lot. For Georgia to be favored by 7 points, a lot of that, I go back to where the game is being held. I go back to the game where it's being held. It's being held in Athens. But I'm going to tell you, if there's anything that turns the tide for Auburn, it's going to be the play of Bo Nix. Yes, the most Auburn person of history. Georgia, do you have your quarterback situation figured out? That's the thing for me. How dare you ask that question? No, I'm talking about you. Forget Clemson. Do you have your quarterback situation? Because I've been hearing from all the Georgia faithful that DeJuan Mathis was the man. DeJuan Mathis was not the man for y'all. I didn't say he's not a good athlete. I'm saying he was not the man for y'all. And the very person that you hated, the very breath he takes, was the one who won the ball game for you. If Vegas is betting 7 points for Georgia, if you've ever watched any of this, that's kind of a toss-up. You get 7 points and below, Vegas says, yeah, they're the favorite to win. But if the other team was to win, we wouldn't be surprised. The big thing here is being in Athens. I know the noise level's not going to be the same as if everybody was there. But it's still going to be a home game for Georgia. It's still going to be their place. I think Georgia's defense could ink out that 7-point difference. And I lean towards Georgia because it's at Georgia. But I'm going to tell you this. If Auburn somehow figures out to beat y'all, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. 7 points. If I had to throw my money on it right now, remember I'm not a bookie or anything right now. I would go ahead and throw this out there. I say Georgia by 3, but I wouldn't be surprised if Auburn wins. By the way, I saw somebody tell Chase Henderson that the virus is real. He didn't say the virus is not real. What he said was the scary virus. The idea behind it is, you remember the Pac-12? You remember the Pac-12 who locked down and said that they weren't going to play? They were going to follow science. They followed science all the way back to their pocketbook. So my dad had COVID. He's alive and well. It was bad, but he's alive and well, and he's old, and he's older, and he has health complications. You being played, my friend. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, you're being played, my friend. Some of you ain't going to like what I just said right there. You're being played. It is a bad thing. There has people who has died with it, but not completely from it. So I'm going to shut up from that point right there. But it's real. But don't go after Chase Henderson and tell him he doesn't know, because Chase, I know Chase personally, and Chase probably has a better handle on it than, well, all of us. All right, I'm Bobby Dirkens. You hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications if you need it. If you want to, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. I'm Bobby Dirkens. Yeah. You know me. Come back. I'll act crazy.